even if it is a loss, we want to see a good performance there to go out with a bang of this season. And no one agrees more with that statement than Matt, Mr. X Morello. Also a hardcore Vegas fan. He penciled himself in to cast this series because he wants to see them out.
Matt,
is this why I'm doing this? Is it you use your clout to drag me to this game?
This is it. This is it. I mean, how could you not be here for this moment? The opportunity that Vegas has is so monumental. As Jake put it, Knife could go down in the history books for being here for
equalizing Proper's impact on the game. That would be. I mean, that is what we would consider an overperformance. The thing is, though, I genuinely believe he's capable of that. It's the other number of conditions that have to be satisfied by Vegas to be able to topple the San Francisco Shock, right? Irony is someone I'm really looking closely at. Is he given the keys to Ilari to try and pop off and make a difference? Because Irony mechanically has been unbelievable since his debut.
I want them to win for Rack Attack. Rack Attack, I want to see win. Now, do I think they're going to win? I don't think so. But I want them to win for Rack
Is
Attack.
The Overwatch League...
He's had a rough go.
Is the Overwatch League an anime, Matthew? Because that's the question we're basically asking.
I've never watched an anime, so I can't tell you.
If this were an anime, it would be Vegas in 5. It would be Vegas in 5 with Rack Attack with a 3K environmental kill to end the round.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking at here. It has been said
a 5K captive son solo.
It has been said many moons ago that Overwatch League obviously is in fact not an anime, and yet I see week after week posts like, you know what? I'm here for the story. I'm here for watching my favorite cannibal on a certain streaming service. I'm here for all this stuff around the league and not necessarily watching the Vegas Eternal hoisted onto the battlements in 2 halves and hung there to dry. So there is hope for Vegas Eternal fans for their team, but San Francisco, no, this is their last chance for Vegas to get a win, and they do not want to be the players to serve it up to them.
Yeah, as the Shock, they will actually have Max playing the segment. Interesting, they're going to have Sojourn with 76. No Illari, but still just a lot of long-range pressure.
So it's a double hit scan composition, virtually, that looks to punish to you and make it really hard for Vegas to stand up. Torbjorn is horrendous here.
Yeah, Torb is not, I mean, Torb does not excel against like double hit scan kind of comps, right? Because you just deal with the turret instantly. It looks like also, Irony, like his healing pylon, they deal with that rather fast as well. So we'll see how Vegas now tries to attack the point.
I guess the idea being that Torbjorn now at like longer ranges because of the travel speed of the projectile might be more effective here. But you've got Knife, the player that probably has the most capacity for skill expression on that hero. So you're going to have to hope he can make a big difference. Sets up on the left-hand side. I think throws a turret down there, and there's also a healing pylon as Irony and Knife are both looking to play around it here. The ladder is picked up already. Proper brings it down. There's an M-Matrix in play, though. Vegas don't need someone to stand out on the point. A Rack Attack is being punished for even peeking out of hiding.
It's just a lot of posturing now from both teams, right? As Knife gets really low, and I mean that is some pressure from Proper, and then you also have like Crossfire coming in from Probe. Proper takes out Rack Attack across the map as this has been all shot.
Yeah, Captain Sunny for Irony. Luke Mino says, okay, I need a tan anyway. How about this one? Max able to chime in from across the map and finish the job, as San Francisco are not moving.
Yeah, maybe they're switching off the Illari here. Didn't seem like anybody else was in position, right?
Well, Knife has made the switch here at least. Yeah. No Torb, so, we have the Hanzo, thank God.
And now we'll have Zen. So get his Zen in the mix here. So really now just doubling down on damage here for both sides, quite frankly. But the Shock, they'll be able to get aggressive if they want behind this sound barrier.
Or even they can use it to disengage and continue to have Max create the spacing they need. Luke Mino's just going to go past the Orisa, but he knows the fight's going to come to him one way or another, so he sets the sound barrier down. Knife is done. He's out of the fight already. Not a great start here for this promising young star. Dove is at least able to benefit from the immortality field, but Luke Mino is banging heads together across the map.
Yes, I mean, they have Dove sectioned off there. That was all Shock. As Jay kind of mentioned, they should be really good in this meta. With kind of some of the heroes we've been seeing, and that is a fantastic start.
And they're a team that takes a similar leaf, I guess, from the Toronto Defiant book, or come to a similar conclusion after their own testing. But going for the Sigma here on a control map is, I would not say it's a particularly common occurrence. We've not really seen this very much in the past because of how highly teams rate that mobility. But San Francisco still have it. In the past, these Sigma comps haven't really been paired up with Lucio at all. But San Francisco know that being able to move Max in and out of position, a speed boost goes a long way in that regard.
So this would be quite interesting. So keep the Lucio, keep the Sigma, and now you're going to have Bastion Torb here. So Dove will now, instead of playing 76, will play the Sojourn. Knife will end up playing the Bastion himself. So Bastion obviously gets some changes with this last update. The grenade feels like it's just an insta-kill. Feels like getting hit with like the artillery. But that's going to be Irony actually finding proper at range. So getting rid of the Tourbillon, that's a pretty big.
Someone I said at the start of the match I was looking out for. I felt like this is where Irony would be able to find some stride. And that's a great opener, getting rid of the Tourbillon here. I guess we still have the question, right? Like, okay, you are playing this Tourbillon in like this Orisa-based composition. Do you feel okay about that here from San Francisco?
Yeah, I mean, well, you're playing the Torb against it, right? So you see like the turret like down there from proper to the left-hand side. Like it's really just kind of like crossfire amongst the points. So you're just really just, you're forcing Vegas to play in the open, right? And you're just trying to put down as much damage from range as they can. As Vegas does a nice job by like pushing up.
Max is having trouble actually protecting the Shock adequately behind the shielding probe. Oh, it's a broadside barrage coming in from Knife, taking the Bastion low enough for Rack Attack to finish the job. 2U now will surge forward, but it's an air matrix in his face, and he wasn't ready for it. Proper's turret, though, was waiting. Finn will come back to the point now and looking just to keep Max nice and topped up. There's still a Bastion at large, and that generates a lot of threat. And he's looking for a captive Sun. Finishes the job only on Proper's turret, really, and then may be forced to rethink his approach here as Knife is felled across the map.
Yeah, as soon as that captive Sun drops, Lucamino there with the sound barrier, able to keep everybody pretty well protected. So the Shock just gonna muscle their way in, right? It really was 2U getting pretty aggressive. Then the Amp Matrix was dropped by Finn, and just a lot of damage coming on through it.
Glasses askew. Probe fully focused on the task at hand. Right now, the Shock looking off foot away from this Bastion ultimate. Lucamino tries to dodge, but Rack Attack is too sharp. It catches the Lucio as he tries to abscond, but the crackback is even worse. Rack Attack dies inside his immortality field. It can't protect him from that ultimate. And 2U is well and truly out of position. Dove may as well plunge into the waves at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Dove was really low from the Bastion ultimate that kind of came down as Probe will finish him off as Shock will probably take the lead here in just a few seconds. And for Vegas, like now you have the Zen in the mix. Like I feel like the Zen is such like a glass cannon target, right? I mean, they have the Bastion on the other side, just like the passive Torbjorn damage. Gonna be nowhere near like a Transcendence, right? For a while.
Now looking to get as much damage as he can in this fight, but again, Amp Matrix plus Proper's damage is too much to handle. Proper gets to maintain
overclock
his ultimate going to the next fight, and yet Dove was hoping for some off-angle play here. There's nothing to do.
No, is what you end up using the? Oh, okay. They want to use it over here to the side, like just is this like a zoning ult?
I suppose. Hey, look, if you can generate extra ult charge by eliminating the remaining players of Vegas, they are very staggered right now. And 2U is so low, so is Knife.
Yeah.
They opt not to chase them down and then wait. That's backbreaking for Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, you have sound barrier here too if you need from Lucamino. It looks like it's going to be 2U. Has to get on, get a touch, gets moved back.
Sound barrier here from Lucamino. Definitely getting back behind the pylon in order to do so. That Fortify is scary, but Probe's able to get out of that Terror Surge. Won't be able to escape. Rack Attack, though, as another one comes up for the Baptiste. And Irony gets that Transcendence online. It's a late switch, but still able to use its Zenyatta ultimate to keep the Eternal in the round.
All right, so it looks like Vegas will flip the point. They invest everything, though. You're coming back into the next fight. Gravitic Flux with the Bastion ultimate could be an interesting combo. You're also going to get an Amp Matrix here, too. So Shock in a good position to win the map in this next fight.
A lot to work with, like you said. Transcendence having been used by Irony there in combination with the Terror Surge, so Vegas really spent heavy. Duff might try another flanking play with this overclock though.
Proper goes to the Reaper just to, you know, follow some of this damage up. Doesn't need to be anything too flashy.
Do any mortars get dropped down? They do eventually. There's a lot of pressure in an Immortality Field forced out a rack attack on that higher ground. He does go for that Air Matrix, but Max is going to gobble it all up. And meanwhile, Dove falls to a Bastion grenade. Max has a chance to regenerate the shield, but my goodness, that tank mode Bastion is still a scary prospect. Two, though, flatten. Max almost timing that accretion, so he manages to connect after the Javelin spin. And that's got to be it. There's nothing left for Vegas to work with here. It's the first map for San Francisco.
The shock looked pretty clean. Now, obviously, you have Proper who can play so many different heroes. You just kind of move him around. Probe picking up some of those hit scans, no problems there. Shock looked like a problem in this meta.
Absolutely. This feels like they're very comfortable here. I thought we'd be seeing Junbin, right? Just because of all the Orisa we'd seen played so far. But they like the Sigma. They want to get Proper and Probe both on these hit scan picks. And they're not messing with the Illari much either. They realize how incredible Luke is on this Lucio, and they just want to make full use of that utility, not get too greedy with their supports.
Yeah, I mean, like what? Just playing like the double hit scan stuff at the start, right? Like, hey, if you're gonna play the Illari, we're gonna play like double hit scan. Just kind of they had a Torbjorn at the start as well. Vegas just kind of like, you know, mow those players down from range, and then once we got into the Bastion kind of head to head, I actually thought Max played quite well on the Sigma, putting them in some really weird spots.
Midtown is our next map on the docket here. Plenty of room to play that Bastion and that Sigma if that's what San Francisco fancy. Stick around. This is the last outing for your Vegas Eternal in this Overwatch League season. Let's better hope it's a good one. Sigma, Bastion. That has been the San Francisco Shocks play here. Getting a lot of value out of both those picks, or all four of them, I guess. You want to be cute about it. Again, seeing Max back in the team for a damn good reason.
Oh, yeah. Here
Sigma's,
we go.
What the... Okay.
Here we go. We got Striker coming on in.
This is literally 2017 NIP all over again. Hey, new support. I like that support. Let me play it. Proper. Your Larry? No, my Larry.
Yeah, as Proper now will move over to support. Probably not to play Lucio. He will probably play Alari. As we'll see kind of what goes down here on Midtown. But this feels like a series that can get off the rails rather quickly.
So this should tell you a lot about how players perceive the power of Ilari and her ability to disrupt in this meta
Or that
game.
she's just fun and they just want to play her.
Yeah, Proper's like, yo, I don't have to charge up my rails. I just wait a little bit.
Wait, I just
sign me the fudge up. Get me in that support seat.
I don't have to think about healing you guys. I just have to hide this pylon somewhere. Then you just play around it.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see how they like playing hide the pylon. I don't think they'd be a fan of that.
Let's do just a friendly wager here.
Okay.
If Proper plays Alara the entire map, I think there's.
Would this be up on Bavada?
He's gonna finish. Okay. He's gonna finish with top damage. I think.
You think Proper finishes with top damage?
I think Proper can finish top damage with Alari.
I kind of want to see the comp first though, because she does do the deeps.
Cheating. I mean, you gotta put your chips in before you see the cards.
Bro.
I mean, come on now.
Okay, bro. Okay. See, I don't do much of this stuff. Okay. I think that
Texas Tree did it first, and he adds Proper.
I think. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think Striker will have top damage. That's what I think.
Really? You
play
think
the
he's gonna
Reaper guy, bro.
You think he's just gonna play Reaper Junkrat? This is like a Striker's like 9th go on the Shock in 6 seasons. The Torb.
Yeah. He'll get the most damage. Don't worry about it. I have full faith. Striker's back, baby. He gets a buff each time he switches teams, so now he's basically unstoppable.
So, Vegas, they're playing. I'm just completely ignoring.
He's a raid boss.
Because that is.
It's a Dark Souls boss.
It's like if he was growing in size for like each what is it like
it's like kill to grow.
Like,
it's kill to grow.
Yeah. He consumes planets. It's just he consumes teams as he goes from one to the next.
He consumes team morale and drywall. That's his diet, baby.
He's very low. He's now dead.
Let's go. Pro from the high ground. Irony couldn't do much about that. Yeah, it looks like the Vegas Eternal are getting bullied off this high ground by Max, who really wants to push them. Proper, you don't need this healing pylon. I need this healing pylon. Hey, yo, Knife, what's up? Let's go, baby. Oh, gets him with a choppy chop. My guy's dirty with it.
Just not even the thought of using the right-click heal. Just throw the pylon and shoot.
Who needs that? Hey, yo, Finn, you keep healing the team. I'm going to do something.
So Knife is going to play Widow. So you're going to play, like, a Widow Ashe with a Zen in the mix. So, like, real long range here from the Vegas Eternal.
Well, let me ask you this. How easy is it for San Francisco to, like, force Vegas off the high ground?
So now they're going to play, well, I mean, now you have Pro playing the Widow, and then you're going to have Striker switch over and play the Bastion.
Yeah, my wager's coming up beautifully, mate. Don't worry about it. Striker has 631 damage, so less than Proper and Probe. But that's all right. Proper's second in damage right now, if you're wondering.
Oh, yeah, he's on the come up. You just gotta keep, if you're Proper, you just got to keep dragging this game out. Now, maybe a little accidental feed here every once in a while, right?
Amp Matrix from Rack Attack. Probe is...
Nobody's moving, yeah.
Yeah, Probe really living up to the name, actually. Just being very careful about these angles.
I want to see Proper go Captive Sun just flying over the top here into Widowmaker Ashe and just...
the skirt into the back line. I'd be about that. There it is, Captive Sun comes out Proper to you. He's feeling the heat. Is there enough damage? No, not really. It's fine, though. Max able to force him away to some degree, but Vegas is still healthy enough. That cart, though, is a moving.
Yeah, it's not a great spot. You see where Dove is. Like, I mean, that is not the spot you want to be in, like Ashe and like these kind of close quarter, areas. So, although the Captain Sun didn't result in like a huge highlight play, it did do enough damage, after the Immortality Field went away to just force them into a really bad spot.
Knifey has to play pretty carefully now as Probe has rule of the roost in terms of that high ground. Probably less than efficient firing at the Widow's position as Bastion, but able to force Knife off that angle for a time. Max, though, ready for the gravitic flux here. You've got to fear this. 2U does not have that available right now. 2U already a footnote in this tank duel. Yeah, and it's going to get absolutely punished. That is devastating. And Probe's able to find 3 in the fight. They're all headshots, by the way. It's just too easy. And Probe, ear to ear, that grin, lighting up the practice facility.
Yeah, I don't really love Vegas's comp here.
Hit with the gap.
Damn.
Hit him with the gap. Drag him. Kings.
No,
okay, hang on. This might be getting out of hand a little bit. We may no longer have a fair fight.
Getting out of hand.
Yeah, you know, we may not have a fair fight anymore.
Oh, that's a mercy probe on the high ground there. All right, yep. Here we go. Bob taking the high ground back. He's dead.
Yeah, he takes the quick way down.
They need to contest that high ground. I mean, you let like Bastion gets it up there. Yeah, I mean, he's
beat booping from his ivory tower right now.
He's waiting for Dub to come up. He knows Dub is coming.
Yeah. Dub, don't worry about it. You come up here, we split it. Timeshare on this high ground. What do you say? Fingers crossed behind his back, of course. Here comes the ultimate from Striker. Oh! Dub is getting... Oh, that's so brutal, man. Nothing you can do about that. Coach gun clearly not available to get away. Or at least it was, and it still wasn't enough. Probe here is looking quite deadly. The Widow duel unfolding now as the challenge has already been issued. Probe calling gap and Knife getting brought down by Max.
Big Captive Sun here. I mean, some nice healing there from Proper.
Healing.
What, 2's going to come out here with the Gravitic Flux, but that's all you got. I mean,
hey, guess what, baby? Striker top damage. Striker top damage.
Well, there's another half. 3 minutes in the time bank there for the shock, so...
just saying,
that's pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely brutal. Probe here, 6 final blows, 0 deaths, 3 scoped critical hits at a 62% critical hit accuracy. All very good numbers.
But Vegas gets to attack now.
That's true. Yeah, generally the game does let you switch sides after halftime, which most people don't normally consider that a reason to necessarily like boost their morale. It's more just like kind of built into the game.
Man, I do feel for them because it is brutal. Like, I mean, they had a tough season last year, right? And then obviously now coming into this year, you kind of start like with like, you know, hey, brand new season, like morale's high, and then things start to go kind of like that same way, and it's tough to get out of. You know, you've had some new players come in, but it's been tough.
You ever seen the movie Troy? About the Trojan, like the Trojans?
I heard about it.
Okay, well, it's this. I'll shut up for a sec. Hold on.
Yeah, this is sick.
He waits on that angle here. 2U just pops up inside that gravitic flux and rack attack on his way down. So Vegas are Hector being dragged behind the chariot right now. That's what's happening here. It is like, you know, overkill.
He was dragged behind the chariot. Was he like alive or?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, maybe he started alive. He might have started alive. Not really sure what the mechanics of that are. Probably doesn't end well for you though.
All right, so maybe let's see, like, you know, Knife now on the Widow, like, has a distinct advantage in terms of like range against like the Tor Bastion. Maybe there's you know, some picks here. You get the payload moving. I don't think you can like match it in terms of time, but
yeah, let's get the Widow in position, right? That's got to be like step number 1. San Francisco didn't come out of the gates with the Widow here. They sort of switched to it when the map catered to it a little bit more here. So I'm not sure if it's like optimal.
Though, with the Bastion is not going to be.
Yeah, no, then Sigma as well. Do not doubt how much damage Sigma can do from this position. Everybody caught inside that murder hall.
They don't have speed either, so as soon as they got into the hall, you were like, this is...
Yeah, like, why are you trying to play positionally without like that speed utility that Lucio offers you?
Well, you're also going there with a Widow, like, Widow Sojourn as well, right? Like, it doesn't really play into their strengths. If anything, it allows the Torb to just drop a turret on one side, start just spamming the choke. Same with the Sigma, and then Bastion just rolls his body around the corner and starts to turn up.
Yeah, I mean, I understand trying to get the Widow into a spot where she can have impact, but that's not how you do it. You don't have the mobility.
Probe doesn't huge. I mean, he's been firing grenades just into this like choke here, and like players' health bars just chunking down.
Yeah, unfortunately, Rack Attack with that Ant Matrix in play has been able to tend to these wounds before they got out of hand. He can't get out of that flux though. Max is looking for him. He's hunting for the Baptiste, but he gives up. Season sent to you there with the kinetic grasp up and opts to go for the accretion now. You're going to run out of healing if you're Irony here. It needs some time to recharge. You're going to flux Max here? That can't be right. Max going to go down at the very least, so okay. Tuyu actually finds the trade here. Immortality Field, great way to prolong the lifespan here, but Proper finds Rack, and I think this fight is still going to go real south.
Yeah, as I can't really bounce back after that. So, Gravitic Fluxes exchanged. Rack Attack and Finn both end up using their Amp Matrix here. You know, the Probe with this artillery, if they try and go like that, like alleyway again, I mean, you could get a big Bastion artillery strike off.
They might try that as well. The question is, can San Francisco really slow them down? Here we go, artillery strike, Rack Attack, better dance, boy! He's able to get out. Regenerative burst, though, had to be used. There's one more shot left. Oh, okay. Oh, they're able to get out of it. Yeah, it's just a healing turret. Could have been scary, though. Probe going to put the fear of God in him. His name is Proper. It's going to be the Molten Core taking a turret out of the picture here, but Darv, okay, a little pop-off, we like that. Oh yeah, better take your time to clear the healing turret. Captive Sun from Irony here will allow him to finish off Probe, and Vegas have some run here. Looks like they'll be capping point A.
Yeah, so, I mean, the Captive Sun is pretty big. You're able to kind of live through that Bastion ultimate. I don't think you're going to be able to kind of fight this for long, right? Max will end up falling, and I think the shock. You'll just give up this checkpoint A, where Dove using that overclock. Yeah. Pretty huge.
Nicely done from Dove there from that high ground. I'm able to find a couple of kills, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, the Captive Sun to guarantee Irony the elimination. It was only Max left at the end. But again, the issue still stands. Like, how do you sort of force control this high ground? These compositions aren't like the dive setups. You have to slowly approach, respectfully, from a long distance, over a long period of time.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I think now, like, you see Dove there on the high ground with the Sojourn. Like, there's not really a great opportunity for him to, like, farm up, like, a railgun shot, right? I mean, every time he pokes around the corner, it just feels like there's tons of damage coming his way.
Yeah, Rack even there uses the regenerative burst in, like, a non-critical situation just because of how much poke damage Tuyu was taking. Oh, man, I mean, the damage spread, or rather the bullet spread on this tank mode is considerable, and still Probe is able to put a lot of pressure down on Vegas. They might try and take the side room approach here, as Knife might be able to just unload on them here.
Well, they know he's there, right? The turret
doesn't matter.
Shoot.
I was hoping he'd go for it anyway, really. Captive Sun is going to catch him proper. Is on the hunt. There's two players afflicted by that debuff. Proper just got a bloody hit him. And Knife will fall. Probe, though, takes that kill.
Yeah, it's the cart not moving really here at all as well, so you'll be able to kind of regain control of high ground here. You're the shock, as looks like a few players still kind of getting staggered out. So the shock will hold on. Minute 50 and counting here for Vegas. Or it looked like Knife was trying to go on a little bit of an off angle. Maybe the flux drops down, he gets a Torbjorn ult from the side, but just not fast enough.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's playing for. You probably just can't walk up there and Molten Core, right? You do need that flux to combine with it. I don't really, Tuyu wasn't really maybe on the same wavelength there. It's unclear. Either way, a bit of a reset here. Max is pretty far forward from this position, but... Oh, okay, Finn. Okay, Finn. Okay, a little hard to heal the Sigma here, and I think Finn realizes maybe it's doing damage is where he's best served. Yeah, he can't do it. Irony knows he's up there, though. Finn's able to pop the regenerative burst, though, and try and stay alive, but you are trolling, my guy. You are absolutely having a laugh.
Yeah, I mean, look, they finished with 3 minutes in the time bank, right? You can be a little bit wild in terms of how you want to play this here towards the end. Finn now goes over to Ana, so maybe you're looking like for a big bio grenade here. I know maybe like you're trying to like sleep Dove as he's going. I know his overclock is. Oh, look at this! Max actually takes the high ground behind them.
What can he do from this spot though? Dove playing a very tight angle here, trying to pressure the stairwell down. There is a Molten Core active there, but most of the shock is staying far enough away that they're not bothered. Max is really struggling here. Proper now has to just hit that right click and keep him standing. Finn gonna chime in now. Captain Sun. Healing is for scrubs, he says. I'm looking for Rack Attack. He's found him. Gets the debuff there, and wow, double also fall. Proper doing proper things here. He says, give me a Lari. And his coach says, yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, you see why he's able to just get around the corner
Okay, it's Krusty. He probably says shut up and then gives him the Illari anyway.
I do not think anybody from Vegas is going to be able to make it back. Here comes Rag Attack. I think he gets slapped there at the end. So that'll be the shock going up 2-0.
San Francisco here at 7-7, so their postseason prospects are by no means secure. That's why they come out of the gates and they mean business. They get to relax a little bit at some point during Midtown as they realize we have a considerable lead. I've got to say, the Widow play, well, the Widow play from Probe is something else. Probe does well, doesn't end with top damage on his team. It's Probe because he's playing Bastion. That's what I thought Striker would be doing. But really solid performance. Probe able to follow up, I guess, on many of these opportunities here. This is a solo kill. There's a Flux here. This is an easy one. Even with Transcendence in play, Aini gets clowned on there, popping his Zen ultimate and having it essentially wasted. This should never happen. This is the Geneva Convention being used as toilet paper. I mean, that's what this is.
They were trying to push into that alleyway. It's like, you have these like long-range hit scan players, and you're running into the Tor Bash and trying to, with no speed, going down that hallway. It's kind of brutal, but maybe New Junk City is the start of a reverse sweep.
Yep, let's see if the Eternal have had a chance to workshop this map a little bit and have a strategy that's hard to counter. It may well be their last map of the season, so don't go anywhere. Let's see how this all goes down. Well, if you are San Francisco Shock and proper fans, perhaps you might consider praising the sun. We see a switch from the superstar DPS heading over to support, and yep, He delivers in full radiance.
Put him on tank next, you cowards.
Yeah, you won't do that. Yeah, probably like,
you won't do it.
But I don't want to play tank though. I want to play the cool, shiny new hero here in the Overwatch League. And hey,
he's pretty good
with this 8-2 final blows. Also, again, 8.2k at 12 minutes. So he's there. That's DPS level damage numbers easily.
Yeah,
you know,
and the healing doesn't fall off, right? I mean, that's the thing with LR. Like the damage is there. And the healing is, you know,
but
also
like the turret,
there. It's like
the turret healing is actually filthy when you're playing with a Sigma comp.
Yeah.
You just like give it a Sigma, let him take a bunch of poke, and just get those ultimates churning. Lukamino, though, has been permitted to take the support seat once more.
Well, think about like, you know, playing a Zen, right, and trying to get that much damage down. You would put yourself in harm's way. You have to have the Discord out, right? You know. The damage from Illari is like pretty consistent. You know, it kind of aligns more with the hit scan.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we sort
Hugo's trying to give Vegas the dog mentality. He's trying to, you know, trying to train him up in the background.
That's why I didn't even like register it because I'm so used to sitting in a call with you with your dog just losing its mind. But yeah, thanks, Hugo. Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably got the dog in him. I know.
Somebody comes within 100 feet of the home, there is, you know, an alarm, and I think he's trying to, you know, wake up the Vegas Eternal with his bark. You know, you guys need to get, if you guys have the dog mentality somewhere inside you, now is the time.
Yeah,
there's people 100 feet from your door, and you need to stop them.
Yeah, it's the Grim Reaper and his buddies. Let's see if they can extract the internal canine on his last map as we're headed back down under, of course, here for New Junk City. Do the Vegas Eternal have a silver bullet here? Something special, something that can really give us a great showing before they're done for the season. The story of the Vegas Eternal in 2023.
On Life Weaver. Bring it back.
They definitely need Lucio here. I mean,
you definitely need Lucio here.
Oh, look, Toronto played without it, right? But I'm not sort of about it here. That support ult plus mobility is pretty important. Tried rack attack until the end. Absolutely remaining positive and upbeat. Never backing down, the Vegas Eternal. Never give up.
4, 3.
Let's go 0-14.
Finn's missed a couple of those.
Yeah, they're 0-15.
Couple of those losses there. 0-15 right now. Yep, that's okay.
Yep.
I don't expect. Look, players don't have to know how many games are in a season. That's fine.
Nope. Speed here for both teams. Dove playing the sim. They're going to get there quite early here, but will they be able to do enough damage to kind of power through this comp of the shot?
What do you think of that turret, just quietly?
That's a little
cute
flank one.
Yeah, a little. Oh my god,
come on,
bro! Yeah, that's why the Dove never came back to the Arc. By the way, it was the bloody Torp turret sat halfway in between there and Albuquerque, and he was like, "No, forget it, fam. I'm roosting here."
I mean, if you have your digital vibrance stuff, it kind of blends in, you know. So
okay. Yeah, the NVIDIA said he's too high, but let me just turn him down. Yeah, that's a great excuse.
1440p with the settings, it blends in, you know?
Next time I feed in Overwatch, I'm going to blame my digital vibrance, bro. It's too overstimulated.
Yeah. just too many cool colors.
I just astral projected for a second across the color spectrum. Okay.
Well, that's something where you just assume the next person.
Okay, well, see you again, Duff. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Knife is just lurking up there, obviously.
Yeah. Straight to the shadow realm with you.
So they can back up. They can back up, and we'll go again here.
One more time, I think. At this rate, where they're getting chased down. Okay. Well,
is this like we're getting close to spawn, right? Like,
this is just outside spawn, right? Listen, you tuned into an Overwatch League match. Now you're watching.
Can we get a backcap, maybe?
I mean, that would be a good idea. I don't think that's going to happen, though. Tugu, though, nice big annihilation. That is going to Rampage Rider. Is going to get a lot of value here. Lukamino falls. Eventually, the bleed will claim him. And San Francisco are going to suffer a back cap here at 99%. All right, boys, pull your heads in.
There you go. Rag Attack gets to the point. On the board. But now you're going to have a lot of good ultimates here for the Shock, right? You know, Finn actually goes over the Ana. So we saw them do that on the last map. They're going to play the Ana again. The Bio Grenade could be pretty devastating, right? I know going up against... and also the possibility of being able to sleep like Knife, right, as he comes in.
Yeah, I mean, again, offers you a lot of utility. That's really what San Francisco are playing to with this backline. I like that. I think it gives you a lot of options here. It's still very powerful. I mean, Lucio is just unbelievably good on this game type. All right, Flux here would be a nice combo with that mortar strike. But instead, it's Knife's Blade. He's headed out to for one with the boys, apparently. Yeah, that's him. He's done. Proper chase him down. Now onto the point here is Vegas have managed to get 80% back on the arena site. But a symbol in play means that San Francisco have got to be a little patient. Dub's a bit of an issue from the high ground as 2U gets into proper with the knife. The accretion doesn't connect. And here, Sigma's very strong against Junker Queen when he doesn't have to fight her like this. Now it's awkward. He'd rather keep her at arm's length and poke her down. But guess what? Guess what? The Vegas Eternal have taken the first flashpoint of the map.
All right. Yeah, you know, Shock, they push up, they get a little bit too aggressive, and Vegas bounces back after that. So, no, as the point moves, I mean, Vegas also has really good mobility, right, with the Sim and the Lucio, so going to be able to get to these points pretty fast.
So they do. Vegas are going to be here first now, looking to set up. It'll be Junker Queens for both sides now. And Bastion for Probe still is locked in.
I mean, the Bash is just so much damage currently, where Sim is quite squishy, right? If you hit the Sim with like a grenade, any other types of damage, I mean, she's as good as dead.
Rampage available here for 2U. That's the problem here with Junker Queen. The lack of verticality means that 2U just have to leave Dub on an island there. I mean, great Rampage though. 3 players connected with. I don't know how you keep Luke Mino standing here. Proper was able to find 2U. Knife gets in there, really able to follow up on that bleed, that anti-heal, but there's still Shock players in position to play. Vegas stuck that point during the fight, though. Maybe that's why 2U opted to drop in the end. Fair enough.
What do you think with what do you think of the Reaper switch?
The Reaper guy is the best hero in the game. Yeah, he's very powerful with the 2 shotguns, and when he comes in from the side, it's really good.
Well, they definitely want to make a play for Finn, right? But you're gonna have that Twerp turret back there. You're gonna have some, you know, damage from the Bastion. So I mean, you know, Wraithform can kind of like walk away a little bit. We'll see though. Oh, I mean, bro, dude, how many first pickoffs have they found with this Bastion grenade?
Yeah, too many. I mean, they are forcing the Vegas Eternal to approach them via the choke here, and that Bastion grenade is it's very powerful
from Irony, which is gonna back them up, but I mean, they weren't really going in, so now the Matrix get used for nothing.
It's a really interesting choice. I know they're trying to get out of the choke, but it looks like they weren't ready to push out anyway. Now they're going to go with the sound barrier. That's the sport ultimate they want to play around here. Max gets a nano boost. Wow, okay, they're going to go for it here. Irony's in trouble too. You've seen better days as well. Knife gets one in his back. Now Dub going to turn around and face some music. Max with the commanding shout to give some spacing between him and the Reaper, but eventually Dub will punish. That is the function of the Reaper in this comp. It's to make it hard for Max to get to be wherever he wants.
Yeah, as we do get a point flip. So Max with a nice Rampage. Now it'll be Finn here going over and playing Kiriko. Do they want to come back in and fight this
3?
Way? I mean, yeah, I mean, it's like a 3-on-4. I mean, Probe is really low. I mean, he's going to use wheels, but oh man, he gets hit with a biotic grenade. So some cleanup here is the Shock. I mean, just they look like they know they can kind of like, you know, skill win, but just kind of like just forcing it constantly.
Someone told San Francisco there isn't a player draft next season that they need to, you know, position themselves for. Some interesting decisions being made in the last couple of moments here. 90 seconds left, or rather 90%, excuse me, for Vegas here on the point. We're gonna go Knife with the blade here. This is a problem. Molten Core! Oh my god, Knife! The floor actually is lava! My brother in Christ gets brought down as Proper gets 3 with the Torm ultimate. What a way to go out!
Man, now you will have the Shock tying it up at a point apiece. So are they gonna play? This is interesting. Okay, for a second there, I thought they were gonna play Tracer Genji. I was gonna say, I was like, that doesn't seem like it'll be great. But now they'll play the Reaper with the Genji here, and I guess but now you don't have like that standard, you know, kind of standing target like an Ana. There's a Kiriko in play, right, with you know, a Lucio. So it's not like you have a stationary like support. I guess maybe you feel like you can take down Probe fast enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious about it here for sure. These high ground, these causeways. 2U has to be careful in approaching now, just in case Probe decides to Spit a hail of bullets at him. Take charge past the top turret proper. He's in trouble. He's able to catch him unaware here. A knife with a nano boost. Probe could be an issue. Knife doesn't want to have to deflect there. He actually doesn't have the cooldown available at the time. And so here comes a rampage from 2 to try and salvage the situation. It's good. Luke Mino and Bax are both brought down by it. And Dove is going to try and team up to get rid of Probe. Should be able to. Vegas start with the lead here in Junkyard.
Yeah, as they get control of the high ground, as Finn will be able to TP to safety. So you get control of the high ground. That nano onto Knife didn't really result in a ton, right? As now they'll actually have the Sojourn in the mix. So you won't have this just a big, bulky, no mobility target like a Bastion. So it'll be much harder to dive, as Irony off the spawn will go to the Kariko as well.
So many switches. I think that Sojourn is also just a real pain for the Reaper to deal with, especially when the point is as open as it is.
Oh, and when there's high ground as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Knife, though, worming his way around the side. Proper, though, switching onto the Genji himself. Sound barrier. Here come the Vegas Eternal. Dove got to be pushed back briefly by the Boop. And will be a good disengage with San Francisco. Man, that's solid.
But now you don't have a sound barrier here for Max's Rampage, right? You think this Rampage, I mean, maybe you think you're going to get the cleanse off, but...
Oh, it's for 3 as well. Okay, yeah, do get the cleanse off on 2 players. No, they can't save rack. They get 1 player, though. That's probably not... That's probably enough, to be honest. Dove drops down, but Proper, man, doesn't matter what you give this guy. He'll take an inch and turn it into a country freaking mile. He's close to the blade already, but Knife has his right here, right now. Has to deflect away and play from inside this small room. It's been a point flip now for San Francisco as they start to stack up this percentage. Kitsune Russians that attempted to disengage here from San Francisco, and the sound barrier is going to give him the durability to try and back away from the fight. Knife, though, no blade anymore. He's on shuriken duty for the time being, and Proper has built his up. Probe looking to maneuver into a better position. It's going to be Proper coming with a Dragon Blade. He's found 1. He'll find 2 with the help of Probe, and that should be more than enough to put San Francisco close to parity on this point.
Oh man, as you would think so, as that is a team kill, as things just got like just chaotic there. Is like both teams like in a 3v3 like don't really hate like fighting it, so they're just kind of like playing around the outside. But man, Luke Camino getting that sound barrier off was huge. As what I think it comes down to now, right, is, you know, to you hitting this big Rampage, can Finn get a cleanse off on it? Then maybe Probe with an overclock. They're going to go quite aggressive.
I can't believe any of them survived that Death Blossom in their face. Dove thrown into the mix here. San Francisco, though, had the healing to survive through that. It ends up being a trade of players here. Vegas, in fact, down by 1. And they lose the point entirely. 1 more to go, or 2 more to go, rather, if Vegas can stay in this. Remember, this is their Overwatch League season. This is it. Their final chance to show what they're capable of and what this entire season of hard work has manifested into. No more opportunities to get out on the stage for the Vegas Eternal after this.
I mean, you like the shock in these kind of like dry fights, right? Where Knife takes a big chunk of damage, hasn't been healed up yet. As looks like Tuyu and Co. They want to get aggressive and fight this, but they're quite low.
Tuyu getting poked down out on the point. The Sojourn, I think, is really starting to have an impact. Tuyu doesn't really want to peek out too much at all. Max moves on to the point here to properly start to contest. Constantly is Irony, sending this healing over.
So much damage from Probe from the side, like on an off angle.
Still, though, Dove's able to find his way towards Finn here, so that's a great start to the fight. Vegas now have point control. They'll probably cap in the process, but Probe's been able to find Tuyu, and it's a sound barrier for San Francisco. They're looking to turn this fight around all of a sudden. Sound barrier back from Vegas. Dove pops out of Wraith form here, looking very healthy, and he's looking to get Max off the field. He will do so. It's a long fight. No one actually capping the point at the start here, so we'll start from 0 now.
Yes, I mean, Dove gets really big value, right? Actually able to get into the backline, pick up a kill, and then take out Proper with you know, the benefits of the shotguns inside the Kitsune rush. Similar to last year's kind of postseason, right? The Reaper, once he gets that big burst and just attack speed, just becomes really difficult. We saw this is going to be a blade really early from Knife.
Oh, sorry. He gets caught by a Carnage midair. Max waits for him to drop right in the path of his axe and bisects him entirely.
This is bad because, I mean, you're going to get the point back here for the shock, but they didn't have to use their Rampage. They didn't have to use Overclock, Blade. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and Knife just kind of like went on in with his blade, and I mean, just got nothing, just face planted.
And Max is so well positioned right now. I mean, these picks really suit him. The Junker Queen here? I mean, he's loving life. Proper with the Dragon Blade, a little bit low right now. 17-6 is Proper. Not too far away from deadlift territory here, as we often expect him to be. We're now at parity here on Bomb Flats. San Francisco are looking to close the map and series and the book on the Eternal right here. Here's Overclock. That's one. Irony absolutely flattened at the start of the fight. The one player you really need alive, especially if there's any cleansing required. And what a cheap team fight win. One ultimate. A dominant showing.
I mean, once you lose Irony, it's all screwed, right? You have to back up. And I wonder if the Shock, they decide to like get a little bit cheeky or push up. Because they know that Vegas, you're probably going to have to start like moving in now. It's not like you can kind of like wait for the whole crew.
Yeah, you don't have any time. 95% and counting, but Proper's going to find the blade. And Rank Attack this time is the first to fall. Oh, what a way to go. It's not a roar. No, it's a whimper. It's a slide out of the chair. And it's a sigh for the Vegas Eternal. Still looking for that first victory. They may find it, but it's on the other side of tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, the Shock, they looked really good throughout this series, right? I know, obviously, you would have favored them above the Vegas Eternal coming on in, but new meta, not really sure maybe when happens, right? And, I mean, they just looked tremendous. Didn't really give Vegas an opportunity at all in the series.
Not at all. And, of course, when we went over to New Junk City, we saw both teams play pretty similar styles. I enjoyed actually the degree of switching of heroes we got here. Dove opting to go over towards the Reaper, I thought, was one that sort of caught our eye. You know, maybe trying to control Max, maybe forcing him back, maybe, you know, creating a little bit of spacing, enough room for 2U to work here. But ultimately, you know, it's San Francisco who have Proper on whatever pick. It doesn't really matter what. I mean, the guy was at 17 final blows last time I checked over a multitude of different picks. It's just another day in the office for Proper. And it's crushing. It's absolutely soul-crushing for this Vegas Eternal team. There's no sugarcoating it. There's no, we'll see you next time, guys. Like, this is it. It's over.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brutal way for the season to end. Obviously, you want to compete for the playoffs. You want to compete for a championship. That's obviously not the reality for every team, right? But you expect a win, right? I mean, so not being able to get one here, I mean, that just pretty unfortunate, you know. I think obviously the players, they put in the work, but just didn't really pay off in the game.
Yeah, it says a lot about this league. The Overwatch League is extremely competitive, and every team striving for victory, and nobody wanted to hand the Vegas Eternal that first win. Jake pointed out a few weeks ago on the desk, he's like, as soon as they start looking like they're close, the hill gets steeper. Every team starts to double down and work harder. And none more than San Francisco, who still have to try and secure their own route to the postseason and to playoffs. There is no way they are going to let the Vegas team get in their way here. And again, they hoisted them onto the battlements in pieces and hung them up as an example.
Yeah, and I thought you saw some interesting looks here from the Shock. You know, Max looked really strong, and all the different tanks that we saw from him. Right, you saw, you know, Pro play really strong. Proper as our player of the match will be Max for this series, but we even saw Proper on support, right? But Max being able to play the Sigma and some of the other tanks looks really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, a little surprised, I guess, to see him off the bat, because I figured San Francisco might go in a Junbin direction because of how strong Orisa is. But it's not just the Defiant that have really cottoned on to how powerful these Sigma comps are. Even with Sigma Lucio, right? So it's an odd thought. We used to see Sigma Lucio when, like, that people used to force Sigma comps all the time when he was just so powerful, like quite a few years ago. Ironically, another period where San Francisco were at the height of their game. It works here. It works against the Vegas Eternal. There is a lingering question as to whether it works against other teams playing dive comps really well. That's obviously a weakness for Sigma, but Max here, it's great to see him back. It's great to see him in a good space to express his ability on some of these heroes that were picked less in the past. And of course, we've got to say it, a big shout out to the Vegas Eternal organization, players, coaches, staff for their hard work. It's tough to, you know, come out of a season like this without a win. We know they worked really, really hard. We want to thank them for being a part of this, and, you know, hope to see more from them in the future.
And I think for the Shock moving forward, this is a team that I don't think anybody's going to want to see or go up against, you know, if they're able to make the play-ins or whatnot, right? Like, you know, the talent, you know, with Proper, right? Last season's MVP can go off at like any moment, and they showed some really nice comps.
What a time for a run-up it would be for this San Francisco Shock team. Is that on the cards? Well, I'm curious to hear what our experts think as we head to the break and then the post-show. Thanks for sticking with us so far for this weekend of the Overwatch League. We've got more on the other side of the break.
Welcome back. Shock are in the play-ins, and as for the Vegas Eternal, well, they are joining the 2021 LA Valiant and the 2018 Shanghai Dragons as the only teams to go winless in the Overwatch League.
Farewell, brave soldiers.
Farewell, indeed.
Thank you for everything.
Heartbreaker, of course, for them, but we have to talk about the San Francisco Shock. They're looking good. It was fantastic to see how well that meta fits at them, even though we didn't get to see that Orisa that we kind of expected to see. Seeing Max on that Sigma, as the gentleman already talked about right after the cast, that's been really, really cool. So we're going to dive straight into a post-game interview, actually, for this one, to hear everything we need to know, and then some, from Proper and Danny.
Thank you so much. So, of course, we got Proper for the post-match interview. Big congratulations on getting this win. Now, Proper, the biggest talking point, for me at least, is, of course, you today flexing onto the new hero, Iliari. So how did the team decide to have you play Iliari other than the other support players? 자, 일단 오늘 승리 축하드리면서 당연히 얘기해야 될 거를 먼저 좀 얘기를 해야 될 것 같아요. 오늘 프로퍼 선수의 일리아리 모습을 좀 보게 됐는데 어떻게 해서 이런 결정이 좀 팀적으로 이루어졌나요?
일단은 저희 서폿이 3명이라 이런 말이 좀 미안하지만 일리아리를 저희가 스크림에서 다 여러 명이서 했는데 이제 제가 했을 때가 가장 결과가 좋았어가지고 이제 코치들이 저를 일리아리로 시키자고 결정을 내렸어요.
아, 3명 다 프로퍼 선수를 이기지 못했군요. 알겠습니다. So Proper says that, I'm really sorry to say this because we do have 3 amazing supports, but during the scrims, everyone got to try out the Iliari, and when it came down, the result was I was just the best, and the coaches so decided to have me play over everyone else. And you guys, and of course, you were looking very scary on Iliari. And not only you, I think San Francisco Shock coming to the new meta are looking a lot better. Proper, do you think this is the meta for San Francisco Shock? 자, 뭐 일리아리도 당연히 프로퍼 선수 너무 잘하고 제가 봤을 때 전체적으로 센쇼이 이번 새로운 메타에 들어오면서 훨씬 더 좋은 모습을 보여줬다고 생각을 하는데요. 프로퍼 선수가 보셨을 때도 이번 지금 새로 들어온 메타가 좀 어떻게 보면은 센쇼의 메타라고 좀 장담할 수 있을까요?
아직까지는 잘 모르겠는 게 모든 팀들이 다 쓰는 조합이 달라가지고 또 어느 맵은 루시오가 좋은데 저희가 루시오 조합을 그렇게 또 잘하는 것도 아니라 가지고 더 연습을 많이 해야 될 것 같아요.
I mean, it's sort of too soon to tell, right? Because, there's a lot of variants in different compositions in the new meta. A lot of different teams are playing different compositions. And for us, Lucio's being played a lot, but we're, still working on our Lucio composition. So I don't think it's safe to say that the current meta is for San Francisco Shock just yet. All right, we will wait and see. Of course, you guys have more matches to come. So San Francisco Shock, thank you so much. And of course, Proper, thank you so much for the interview, and good luck in your next matches, which is in play-ins. 자, 그러면은 play-in에서 만나 뵙도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you.
Always great to hear it from Proper. Thank you so much, Danny. Are you all right?
Yes.
Oh, the classic dead leg.
It's right.
I'm right.
It hurts. Pain. Feels Vegas, man. Let's take a look at the highlights from this match and discuss how the San Francisco Shock got it done. It was a one-sided affair. It was all the San Francisco Shock. They knew what they were doing coming into it. The meta fit them well, and it looked like the players really were able to excel and take their play to another level. But how much have they been tested by the Vegas?
Well, I wouldn't say Vegas is the test, right? You've got to fare up against much tougher opponents once we get to the play-ins. You're not going to have easy matches like this again. I do think it was great to see Max getting so much playtime and the Sigma looking strong. I do think Sigma definitely has some end game potential in this meta. When everyone starts playing those poke comps, Toronto's looking so good, I think a lot of teams are going to play more Sigma, and so getting Max the reps now. Judgment, he's been playing most of the season, so you're not worried if he does have to come in, but I think getting Max those reps, getting him confident on other heroes, we know his Sigma's great, but having the flexibility to sort of make any swaps necessary is awesome. And then I think as well, having this potential to put Proper on support adds more depth to Shock, where Proby and Striker are both elite DPS in their own right. And so now you just have a triple threat when you bring in this very heavy Hoax style. It makes sense to kind of have a DPS on support as the type of comp where that type of strat comes out.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Junbin today, but I think, I agree with what Jake was saying. I think they are they have more, I guess, tools to work with now. With of course Max playing, of course the Sigma, and also I mean, not only that, I think everyone on their role, I think they look pretty comfortable, and I think I'm super excited for San Francisco Shock. I think we saw a lot of exciting things from the Shock today against the Vegas Eternal. So going forward, I think they're on a good path.
Yeah, and I mean, now they're in the play-ins. I think their performance today showed that they can be on even footing with a lot of the teams we consider mid-table teams, and maybe they can take it even further than that. It's definitely a good confidence boost for them to finally start to get into a groove and mesh and have that synergy that we were hoping to see from the San Francisco Shock. So let's see if they can keep it rolling. But let's talk about the scores from today, because some things have shifted with today's match results. Florida and Houston both now clinch their playoff spots alongside Atlanta Reign, so they do not have to play in the play-ins. San Francisco Shock locked in their slot for the play-ins. Gladiators, Washington and New York are still fighting to stay out of that last knockout spot. They do not want to join the Vegas Eternal and the LA Valiant and be out for the season. They do want to keep it possible, something in reach. And quite frankly, their performance this week was good. They have a tough opponent coming up, though. I think the next one is Boston Uprising, so, it's going to be rough for them, but there is still a very high chance. New York and Washington in a similar boat right now. So I'm very, very excited. I love a close race up until